Alright, who's ready for some animal crackers? All natural animal crackers. Oh yeah, boy, I've been looking forward to these. They're, don't look like animals at all. Oh yeah, I ate all the animal crackers. These are Tagua Nuts, also known as palm seeds or veggie ivory. That one got chewed up by a rat before I moved them here. But once this is polished up, it actually looks sort of like ivory. And what I'm going to do is take a few of these and we're going to try to make some Tagua Nut pens. Well, not pens. I've got two kits here, workshop pencil and a sketch pencil. We're gonna make it out of these. It's gonna be cool. One thing about these Tagua Nuts is right there, this little knob, I like to call it the nose, that usually is the indication of a termination point. Everything sort of goes through the middle to right here. Usually on the inside, the middle is sort of hollow or cracked. This one is nice and fat. I'm going to actually cut it down the middle and see if we can't use each side for part of the pen blank. And as promised, we have a hollow middle. Nope, it's all cracked all the way through. That's no good. I've got one Tagua Nut sort of squared up a little bit, cut to shape, and we're going to see if we can actually drill it all the way through, and if it looks good, then we're going to glue in the brass insert. Might be a little crack in there, but I think maybe we can mitigate that. Managed to get two Tagua Nuts drilled out to where it'll accept the brass tubes for the pen. There are some little, I don't know if you can see that there. There is some little cracking right here, and then you can see it going through. However, what I plan to do is, and you can see it a little bit right there, if I'm turning this down and it ends up being a huge crack once it's glued, I'm going to fill it in with polyester resin that's been dyed blue, and I think it'll give it a cool pattern. Because the rest of this will look really awesome. So whatever little defect comes out, I'll just turn it into an accent point. I should also point out that several Tagua Nuts died in the making of this video because they just, well, they didn't cut it. But they didn't feel a thing, I swear. It's tomorrow. I left these overnight even though they're epoxy, they didn't have to be left. But now what we need to do is square these up and maybe cut off any excess. This is a big chunk of excess on here because it's off center. And maybe run these over the sander to get these a little bit more rounded so that I'm not having to take off such sharp edges. But it's looking good. So I've got the blanks all glued up, all squared up, ready to go. I don't know how these are going to turn. It could totally fail and they could fly apart. Sort of as predicted, the internal structure of these Tagua nuts, you know, got cracks. This one did better than the other ones. That's got a big crack in it, and then of course I had the blowout where I lost 2 chunks. So before I lose any more, I'm going to try to fill all this in with resin. We're going to go with 15 drops per ounce, so that's 30 drops. Try to make the most of it. Let's see how he did. Well, that looks like it didn't. Well, some of it got filled up. I don't know. Can you tell? Let's see here. Focus, please. Yeah, some of it got filled up, but I could definitely feel it. There's more space there. We need to do a better job sealing this up, I think. Everything leaked out. That's no good. No good. We do not need it to leak. Ow. Yeah, look at that. All of that should have gone in there. So that's what I should have done. I should have turned it upside down. Man, big learning curve there. I mean, same thing happened with this one. I mean, I know gravity is my friend and all, but I thought the tape would help. Do we have at least one successful candidate here? And no, that has nothing in it either. Cleared away all of the old resin, wrapped everything up in duct tape for the most part, and then just a little bit of masking tape to hold everything upright, and re-poured. Let's see how we did. See that? Went through. There was a leak. Another leak. I swear. And still didn't fill it in. It filled in everything except the part that it was supposed to fill in. God, you know. This got filled in, so that's good. But now, I gotta try to get all that out. Thought the duct tape wouldn't leak. Mind of its own, this resin has. That came out good, like it was supposed to. And that came out like it was supposed to. Crap. No, it didn't. It didn't fill in right there. It was a buckle. This stuff is really frustrating. But I'm gonna get it, because these are Christmas presents that need to go out, you know. So I took all of these to the disc sander to grind off all the excess, and you can see here, you got a big chunk right here. That's what I was trying to fill in, and it filled in everything except that. So, I don't know. I mean, there's some in there, but I don't know if it's enough. once we grind down. I guess we're gonna have to just wait and see. That's a maybe. This one, pretty good. Full coverage, I think it did the job. This one I drilled out. I got all the stuff from the inside that leaked in. We got a little divot right here. We still got this right here, but I wasn't really trying to fill that in, I don't think. Looks like the rest of it kind of got filled in. So this is a maybe. I don't know. Okay, so we got this nice and smooth. I got it all the way up to a 1200 grit sandpaper. The light is not doing too good here. So you really can't see all the detail here. Ah, crap. Just when you thought everything was perfect. Son of a... Now I gotta fix that. So I've got some super glue down that crack and it's clamped. We'll see if everything works out. We can sand it down, get it nice and smooth. Hopefully everything will be good and then we can polish that. Now we're going to move on to these two. See exactly how much more work they need. So this is sort of an unusual shape. This is not really what I was going for, but I kind of like it. I like this swell at the back and has a very gradual taper up to the front here. It's not really a knob, but I like it. The problem I'm having here is we've got missing resin, or it didn't fill in, or however you want to look at that. This crack right here, this chunk right here. It looks like we need tiny bits of resin to fill this in. Well, son of a... That did not fill in at all. All of them filled in except for this one, which was upside down because I needed to fill in that part right there. So, looks like I'm gonna have to mix up some more. Wow. That came out way better than I expected it to. That plastic polish made a huge difference. Wow. What I've done in the past is just use my vise. That's what we're gonna do. All I've done here is just put taped a little piece of wood here and a piece of wood here so that it doesn't mar up the surface. It gives me something nice and firm. And just very slowly press these together and try to make sure it doesn't kink in one direction or another, and that it doesn't break. There we go. Presto changeo. Our lead. Okay. There's nothing for this to grab onto. Unless I was supposed to make a lip here and it's just supposed to press on, which is what it looks like. That probably would have come in handy had I read the directions. It does say that. Now here we go. 1/8 of an inch. So looks like I may have to take off 1/8 of an inch and then press that in. So apparently we are not done because I don't read directions. And apparently for this little tip that goes on here, they want you to super glue it on, which I don't think is all that cool, but I don't really see how else to do it. So we're gonna have to super glue it. Not that side. Alright, so while that's drying, now I have to take off 1/8 from here. One thing that I do not have, which I need right here, is a parting tool. I don't have a parting gouge, but then I remembered I do have these. These are jewelry gravers from when I used to be a custom jeweler. And they're for carving and scribing metal, but they are going to do the job perfectly for this particular task. I just took this over to the vise and I press fit this on here. I don't know if you can tell if it's not, I didn't take off exactly 1/4 of an inch, I just took off enough to get it on there. And I'm perfectly happy with that. So it's not going to come off. And we glued on the tip here. So. Uh-oh. Okay, so perhaps I should not have glued on the tip because the spacer is a different diameter, so I actually can't get this. Now we're gonna have to get this thing off of here. Ah, it came right off. So just to make sure that this is gonna take the glue again, just gonna rough it up a little bit with some sandpaper. I think it'll be okay. Is there schmegma? Yes, there is some. It's like glue schmegma. It's real sticky. Let's try it again. There we go. Goes in, it comes out. Look at that. Just like it's supposed to. Feels good. Alright. One down, one to go. So let's see what happens with the other one. But boy, does this just look gorgeous. Get it to focus. So rather than bore you guys with more shaping and sanding on the lathe for the second one, I just decided to go ahead and do all that and then just show you the finished product, which I think came out looking pretty good. There was still some little imperfections, but you know what? That's just going to be part of the character of the pen at this point. It is how it is. I think it looks very cool. It's got some unique characteristics, different from the other pen, or pencil, or pencils. And the kit for this is also a little bit different. It's using sort of the same internals as the other one, but this goes up inside here and comes through the top here. Like so, this stays completely loose, whereas the other one, once you put it in, you couldn't get it out. So this set allows you to press fit this piece in here, and then it also gives you, in addition to the pencil lead, you get one of these. You get a pen insert that you can put in here if you want to use it as a pen. So I think that that's pretty cool. Now let's see if I can't press fit this in here without breaking anything. What do you think? Yeah, we'll see. That looks like a good spot, so it's not touching the polyester. Look at that. Perfect. Snugged right on up in there. This one has a little bit of resin stuck on the threads. Looks like we got to get that out of there. Let's see. Just get the rough spots out. This thing just does not want to screw on. Alright, I got to get the stuff out of these threads. So I finally got the second mechanical pencil together. I had to take a razor blade and go and scrape each of the individual threads on the inside of this thing. I didn't think you guys wanted to see that, so I just kept working at it until I got it together. And of course, like I said, it takes the regular lead, but this one's a little bit fancier. You know, it has a little shirt clip, or whatever you call that, pen clip. It has this pen too. So I think that this one is probably going to be the gift to my brother for Christmas, just because it's a little nicer looking than this one is. I mean, this one is, I love the blue, you know, I'm a sucker for blue, and this has got sort of its own little style to it, and I'm going to use this in the shop. But I think that this one is a little bit more classy. My brother is a professional artist. He does live event painting, weddings. He's a fine artist, and I think something that's, you know, a little bit fancier for him would be the way to go. So here they are, the mechanical shop pencils. Both of these came out fantastic. much better than I imagined. I think that the Tagua nuts are fantastic material to work with if you can find something that actually you can make out of them for the size.